This really is a busy road on Saturday morning. I didn't realize it was this busy. Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. I hope you're having a great day, and I want to welcome you to my office and my facility, I guess. It's not a whole lot. It's kind of humble. It ain't really fancy or nothing, but hey, we use this, we get the job done. This is where I come to work every day. This is where we run the GCI Turf Academy, is out of this building, and God's really been good to us and blessed us with this property. Now, one thing this place is lacking is a yard, okay? Let's go look at it and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So would you call this yard? Well, technically it's a yard right here where it's at. And you can see what I've got right here is a literal mess. This is probably the worst yard that I know of. Bare dirt, fescue, chickweed, common Bermuda, that crap that comes up when you put straw down, maybe a little turf type tall fescue, a little crap fescue, that's probably Kentucky 31, a little Poa trivialis, pretty bad water drainage issues right here, garlic, a wild onion, there's some hairy bittercress, there's some plantain back there. It's a little bit of clover over there. Look at this bad boy right here. Good gracious alive, look at that thing, man. Like something come out of a garden. There's a cinder block in this yard. Oh my goodness. There's a hole in this yard. There's some pretty good sized dandelion in this yard. Okay, so I think you get the point. It's pretty rough, okay? So hey, I think you get the point. That's pretty rough for a yard, right? So I got common Bermuda out there. Now, of course, I could use that for my turf. I could go in there and clean everything else up. I could push the common Bermuda, get it to fill in, and have a Bermuda yard. Well, this is my place of business, and I want it to look a little bit better than something that's just common. So my vision for this is, I know you've seen those high-end athletic fields where that Lord have mercy, I cannot believe, where are y'all coming from? Gracious. I know you've seen those high-end athletic fields where they've got that finely manicured Bermuda turf, and it's real mowed and it's cut down really short, and it has that really cool striped up appearance. And that warm season Bermuda turf gets overseeded with a cool season ryegrass turf in the fall. Now what that does is that gives you a great color all winter long. Yeah, it's more maintenance and requires more attention, but man, the yard's gonna look good 365 days out of the year. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do with this area. I'm going to convert this from the crap that you see it now into a highly maintained Bermuda turf grass that will be overseeded with rye in the fall. I know, Pete, you got a fescue yard. What the heck are you doing talking about that Bermuda? Well, our company, we've been managing Bermuda a pretty good while. And we do several high-end athletic facilities, including high school baseball fields, sports complexes, soccer fields, and we're actually starting to get into infield maintenance on the baseball diamond. I am absolutely pumped up about that. So it just seems like a fitting time to introduce you to the way we manage warm season turf. So let's kind of go over the process of what I'm going to do now. This is going to end up being a complete total kill-off renovation, okay? My number one issue out here is that common Bermuda, okay? It's a freaking beast. I need to get rid of it. Well, before I can get rid of it, I need to pump it up and make it grow some. Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, somebody close the gates. I had no idea this road was this busy on Saturday morning. I really didn't. These are times where God teaches you patience. Well, I plan on doing one of two things. I'm either going to seed that with Bermuda, or I'm going to sod it with Bermuda. Now your job is to comment below and tell me which one you want to see. Do you want to see that seeded, or do you want to see it sodded, and with what Bermuda seed or with what Bermuda sod? So what does that have to do with the common Bermuda? Well, if I'm trying to grow a pure sodded Bermuda yard or a pure variety of a Bermuda grass seed, I don't want that common crap in there. I just don't. I want to keep a pure, uniform grass type yard. So I'm going to fertilize the common Bermuda and get it to come up and get it to go as hard and as fast as it can go. I'm going to have the guys cut this a couple of times a week so that that Bermuda will really spread and fill in. So when that point in time gets here that I'm ready to smoke off this common Bermuda, as much of it as possible I have forced up out of the ground, and I've forced it to grow so that I get the best and complete kill I possibly can. So with that being said, I'm going to spray my Tribute Total. Now what Tribute Total is going to do is it's going to take out everything in this yard except that common Bermuda. First step, you always want to know your square footage, because these herbicides, these adjuvants, fertilizers, anything is typically in the lawn care world, it's dictated by the rate per 1,000. And that rate per 1,000 is 1,000 square feet. So we need to know our measurement before we can go forward. Come on. Pretty easy with this particular area because it's a rectangle. I'm basically going to measure length times width. My length is 120 feet. So I was 120 feet long by 54 foot wide. So you multiply length times width. That's about 6,480. And I'm just going to call that 6,500. 1,552. So we'll just call that 1,500 square feet. So if I take 1,500 square feet and add it to 6,500 square feet, I magically get 8,000 square feet. Now that's pretty crazy. That was not intentional, it was not planned, but my sprayer nozzle assembly with the Strom battery powered sprayer, I have it calibrated for 4 gallons to cover 8,000 square feet. So you can just call that luck of the draw, I guess. Now, hey, always double check your label to make sure you're accurate on your rates and your, what you can do with the product and what you can't do with the product. Now, Tribute Total is a dry product, okay? It's a dry powder, so when you combine it with water, it melts down and then you can actually spray it. Now, as I'm reading through this, I get to a part that says spray adjuvants. Tribute Total requires a spray adjuvant for maximum weed control. So you must add an adjuvant per the label to get complete effective control using this product. I think it's no secret by now, my favorite adjuvant is the natural adjuvant, and that's what I'm going to use here. Now, you've always heard me say, well, you can use low rates and that kind of thing using the adjuvant. And now this particular case, I've got so much going on. So many different weeds. We're in the spring, the fescue's thriving. I'm gonna actually go full rate with the adjuvant so that maybe I can get this done in a one-shot deal. Since I'm dealing with a smaller area here, I'm gonna use the suggested rate per 1,000 rate for my mix, which is 0.073 ounces per 1,000. So when I multiply 0.073 times my 8,000 square feet, I get 0.584 ounces to cover this 8,000 square feet. Now, whenever I'm mixing powders with water, I definitely want to have plenty of water in the tank. I want the water agitated, meaning moving while I'm adding the powder. I don't want to ever put the powder in and then stir it, because that might lead to some clumping issues. I'm going to add some more water and go and fill it up to my 4-gallon mark. So I'm basically going to stick it down in here and check my pH. I'm at a 6.3. Now I need my pH to be right at a 5 or slightly below. I use citric acid to do that because it's really inexpensive and it works really fast. These are the exact little packets that come with the adjuvant starter kit, or if you get an adjuvant refill kit. Now, word of warning, it takes very, very little of this. Let me show you. That's about all I'm going to use. And that got me down to a 5.06. That's close enough for me. Now my rate on the adjuvant is a 1/2 ounce per 1,000 square feet. So if I have 8,000 square feet, that means I need to use 4 ounces. Now, why is it important to adjust the pH? Why can't you just throw the adjuvant in there and go to town with it? Well, one of the active ingredients is called chitosan. Chitosan's kind of unique at penetrating the leaf tissue of the grass, the weed, the plant, the bush, the shrub, the tree, or whatever. It has a very unique capability of actually forcing this tribute total inside of the weeds, okay? Now chitosan also has a little stipulation to it, okay? If you don't have that pH at a 5 or a little bit below, the chitosan will not stay suspended in the solution, meaning it won't mix properly throughout the whole solution. The other active ingredient in the adjuvant is yucca, and the yucca is a really sticky stuff. It comes out of a cactus plant from the desert. The yucca is going to kind of play the surfactant role out of the two, meaning it's going to make the chitosan stick to the plant and spread out over the leaf surface a lot better. That way you get more of the chitosan inside the plant. The chitosan translocates, I guess would be a word, meaning it makes it go from one area to another area, meaning the outside of the plant going to the inside of the plant. It's going to get that tribute total in there. That way I get a quicker, faster, and more effective kill. Now that's kind of a little bit of the science behind the adjuvant. That's about as deep as I go with it, because the rest of it's kind of above my pay grade. I use it because it works. Now here's another good friend of mine, Mr. Carbon X, and this is what I'm going to actually use to push that common Bermuda. Now I'm putting about a 1/2 bag on 8,000 square feet. I want that common Bermuda to absolutely take off screaming. So as the tribute total begins to work on the weeds and the fescue and take those out, that common Bermuda is going to slowly fill in. Now about once a month, I'll come out here and put that same rate on this area out here, and I'm going to really try to push that common Bermuda to grow as hard and as fast as it can, because I want as much of it up out of the ground as I can before I smoke it. I'm pretty dang excited to get the front of my property looking good, and I'll tell you what, you'd think this was Highway 85 or something. All right, so there you go. I got my Carbon X down, I got my herbicide down. Now that tribute total is going to take everything out except that common Bermuda. That fertilizer is going to push that common Bermuda so it can fill in. We're going to mow it regularly. I'm going to feed it regularly up until right before the time I start the renovation process. Remember, like, subscribe, and share, and tell all your buddies, and hit that little bell so that you'll get notified, so you can keep up with this and you can watch me. I'm going to transform the front of my property and turn it into and give it that kind of baseball field look. It's going to be really cool. You'd think this was Highway 85 or something. It's Saturday morning, people. Go make a video or something. Hey, be sure and get on my email list, because we do a monthly drawing on that where we send out some stuff. I tell you what, the month of May, what we'll do for the giving is I'll give out a bag of Carbon X. So make sure you're on my email list. That's down in the description. And if you win, I'll send you a bag of Carbon X. It's free. It don't cost you a dime. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch all this yard stuff. I have fun doing this. I really like it. I'm living that dream, man, of growing your business to a national level. And I'm doing it with a GoPro and some fertilizer and a sprayer and showing you what I do for a living. And I'm humbled and I'm thankful for that. So I appreciate you watching. Check you later.